Go. Good morning, everyone. This is a regular scheduled commissioner meeting. Today is September 23rd, 2024 at 9:32 in the morning. So I'll call this to order. First thing is everybody please stand for Pledge of Allegiance, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call. Okay. Avriel. Here. Maddie.
Here.
Mattis. Wallace, sorry.
Here.
Here. Thank you.
Eli.
Zorn.
Here.
Edlin.
Here.
And Tranby is here as well. Okay, on that one. First thing is look at the agenda, please. And there's any additions or subtractions to it, let us know. I'm going to have one addition to it. I'm going to discuss put on the agenda. We need to appoint a vice chair. Since after John resigned, of course, I went from vice chairman to chairman. We didn't have a vice chairman in place. So we'll put that on the agenda too, like in the meeting or something on that one. So, okay. So look it over, see what you guys think. You know.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with the addition of vice chair.
Okay. Do I have a second?
No, I'll second that.
Okay, thanks, sir. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign? Okay. Motion carried? Well, that's kind of cool. Anyway, so let's look at the September meetings for the last county commission meeting minutes. We got the 9th, 12th, 13th, and 16th. Oh, we're busy. So we'll take them one at a time here. Let's look at September 9th first on that real quickly.
I make a motion to accept the September 9th minutes and dispense with the reading.
Do I have a second anywhere?
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign. Motion carried. Now we'll move on to September, what was it? 13th, 12, December 12th on that one. Well, you guys want to look at that again and see what you guys think?
I'll make a motion to approve September 12th minutes and dispense with the reading.
I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Okay, motion carried. Now we'll go to September 13th. Ooh.
I'll make a motion to accept the September 13th minutes and dispense with the reading.
I'll second that.
Okay, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Okay, the last one is September 16th, which the regular meeting was.
No, that was still a special.
Oh, the special
It's a special meeting. Sorry, it was. Yeah, that's right. Sorry about that. You're right. Okay.
I'll make a motion to accept the September 16th minutes and dispense with the reading.
I'll second
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed, same sign? Okay, motion carried. Okay, let's look at the bills real quick here. Anything stands out in your mind there, Samantha?
Nope. Should be good.
You might want to take a peek through these quick.
I'll make a motion to accept the expenses.
It's a pretty short list this time.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's the first thing that's short before.
Usually your last meeting of the month is like
Like
this.
that,
Yeah,
yeah.
you don't have all
There are
those
many.
other taxing entities and stuff.
Yeah. Anyways, who had the motion?
I,
You make the motion.
Because a lot of bills are due at the first of the month. So
Okay.
I'm piling in.
Mhm. Yep.
Do we have a second from anybody out there?
I'll second it.
Okay. We'll do a voice vote because it's by for payroll, so money wise. Avriel,
Aye.
Matt, Vin,
Eli.
Aye.
sorry, I keep calling you Matt.
You're fine.
Okay. Zorn,
Aye.
Idlin,
Aye.
trying to be votes aye. Okay. Motion carried. Okay. So you want to try to put Linda on first? Is that correct? On the tax director position?
It's
She's not booting up yet.
we're going.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep going. Let's get going. That's Sheriff Michaelis, you want to discuss your meeting for a little bit on your laptop, real quick?
Yes.
Yeah.
I got a quote from Travis, who got a quote from Dell. It's not an exact quote, he's still waiting on it, but I think it was like $5,500 for a laptop. I don't have a laptop at all, which we use in our vehicle. It's kind of like our lifeline.
Yeah.
To do everything we do is on our laptop, to see calls, to read calls, to see where we're going, to write tickets, to do accidents, everything.
So what happened to the other, you never had a laptop to begin with, or did you always have?
I have not.
Oh, you have it when you got back.
When I was here before, they
You had
are
one.
outdated.
Okay.
They got 2 new ones. So Danny don't have one.
Okay, you don't have one.
I do not.
Okay, so we got 2 out of 3 then. Okay,
So I am asking for one of them.
for your patrol vehicle. Okay. That's in our, that's where you can take it in and out?
Yes.
Okay. So,
Welcome to Zoom.
okay.
Please press pound. Then enter your meeting ID, followed by the pound sign again.
So what are you guys' thoughts here? What about a copy machine too, right? You're looking at too?
That guy from Loeffler came in last week, said ours is out of date. They don't service it anymore. The contract is up. And a new one is $89 a month versus what
The
we pay
meeting
now is
passcode,
$79.
followed by the pound
Okay.
sign.
So I don't know what you all usually do on that, but that's what he said when he came in.
We
Okay.
leased the one for the courthouse, didn't we?
I don't
You
know.
leased the one for my office.
Okay.
Okay.
And that one was also leased before?
Yes, but the contract is up.
You are the meeting host.
He's-
Please
they're out of
enter your
date. They
host
don't
key
service
followed
them,
by
so-
pound.
Thoughts, guys?
And to continue on with a different lease, it's less than the current price?
More, $10 more
$10 more?
more.
for a new one.
How long is the lease for?
I don't know. Is that possible?
You got
I'm
a
just
cough like
gonna-
I have.
Pass that on down.
I saw that. Okay. Look at that.
Is this the same company as the other ones from?
No.
Who did you get yours through, Sam?
Sun?
Central Business Systems.
Yeah.
But they have recently switched their name to something I can't remember what it is though.
What did,
Maybe we look on a quote from that
what,
company.
what did you,
Yeah.
what is your lease per month? How much, any idea?
I can't think off the top of my head what that is.
Anyway, I would just think maybe we should get a quote from them, and then if we could get 2 from the same company. it'd be
And I can let you know
Yeah.
Yeah,
what mine is.
That's
at
fine.
some
Yeah.
point.
Or you
No,
wanna?
I'd rather, like you said, just,
Yeah.
Go
you
with
know,
one company.
Yeah.
Company, yeah.
That would probably make sense. I didn't know she was in a different.
No, that's fine.
I thought Wes got his through ours, but must not have.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
And the laptop, what
What do you-
funds are they coming from?
are they coming, do you have funds available in yours, or you're pretty tapped out?
I'm tapped out, so is there any COVID funds?
You got the list there.
That's all there is. By golly, there is. Can we discuss that when we get to the COVID funds? Or do you want to discuss that now?
So do I make a motion on that? No, we discuss it.
Well, it's up to you guys, how you wanna, you know, we need to somehow to pay for it somehow, you know, so. She definitely needs the laptop, we all
Yeah.
know that, so that's kind of, point is kind of mute on that, so.
I can see what the IT
What do you-
budget. Wasn't there something in the IT budget for the sheriff's laptop? I thought that was last year though, maybe. Let me
In the
check.
current-
Oh, when we
Think
did the
so,
budget
because
last
Travis
year?
said he couldn't get it.
He took it out. It's not in the budget, Travis said, in the IT budget, okay.
We do have.
Unless you put it in for next year.
'Cause
which
it-
I could, I mean, it wouldn't kill me to have to wait till January, if that's the case.
Yeah, but you kind of need that.
With discussing, you know, bringing that to the COVID funds, I was visiting with Sam on the COVID funds, and we did a little bit more research on that and reached out to Linda at the North Dakota Association of Counties to kind of get the details as to where those funds can be used or allocated to use. And the $338,524 that we do have left over can be used for anything. Those are ARPA funds, and we can, as she stated, it's a replacement for lost revenue, is what she stated. I have all the details that she sent from me on this. I don't know if you guys got a copy of that, if you guys wanted to look at the details of this stuff, but in the sheet shows all of the counties and who received what. And we received $433,000 from ARPA funds.
And we gotta use these up by what date?
Yes, we have to allocate them by 2024 and use them by 2026.
But there was something when you guys came for the presidential tour, Jamie, that,
Association of Counties tour, you mean?
yeah, when, Aaron Burst said, as long as you can link it back to COVID, you're good. What funds were those?
Those are the CARES Act funds.
Yeah, I think she's.
But-
made
And we already used those CARES Act funds.
ARPA funds for counties, I think it's under $5 million.
So there was
ARPA
two
funds
different
would be
ARPA
for-
funds. There's two different ARPA funds. There was the LA,
CTF.
CTF.
and then the,
And then the ones are just called.
SLFRP.
Yep.
But I think as long as they're ARPA funds, there's no restrictions on what they can
Yeah,
spend on.
yeah.
Because our income is, or what we received is so small. Not so small, but under the $5 million.
because Ben sent Amber some information on, since we were so low or whatever of like population, we were able to use it for anything, and that made it easier for reporting periods. But I couldn't remember which ones it was that he said, as long as you can link them back to COVID, you were good. But it was the CARES Act, and those ones are already gone.
Okay.
So if you guys want to use that ARPA funds.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see.
Purchase that?
I don't see why not.
Do you want me to bring back the exact quote when he gets it?
Yeah,
It's up, yeah, you can do that, Amber, it's
I'll
fine.
do that,
Okay,
because I don't want it.
yeah, that way we can get exact dollar
Yeah,
amount,
that's
so if we
fine.
make the motion, we can make it on the exact
Yeah.
dollar amount.
yep.
Okay.
Like you said, there's not a huge rush, but we need to get something in your patrol vehicle by as soon as possible, of course. Did you say a timeline, how fast you get the computer?
No.
Okay. So, okay, we'll just table it for right now, and you come back in the next meeting there, and we'll get something figured out on that one, so, okay?
If you'd be so kind to us to reach out to the same copy company as.
Yes,
Yes.
yep, I got that,
and-
yep,
and then
sure
we'll
will.
get a quote
Okay.
from them as well, please.
Okay,
That makes
Okay.
sense.
well, thank you, Sheriff Michaelis. Next item is, we're gonna probably leap forward a little bit, and is Linda on?
Yep, she's on.
Okay, we're
Linda,
gonna,
can you hear me?
Linda.
Good morning.
Good morning, Linda,
Good morning.
on that one. So I hear you're thinking about the tax director position, is that correct?
Can we get the copies?
Yes, I had.
Yes,
Yes.
if I could, I did send a letter to the commissioner, and I just have a couple of questions, or if you have questions of me, but I'd like to just take the opportunity to thank you for allowing me to be a consideration.
Sure.
I have talked with the state tax commissioner's office and with Griggs County 2024 sales ratio out of compliance. I will attend that meeting on October 3rd at the state capitol in order to, it is my understanding that they will allow Griggs County some more time to get that to become in compliance.
Okay.
So I don't know if they're going to give us a full year, but that is my understanding. But I will attend if we agree on, if we have an agreement or a contract.
Okay.
I have probably 20 plus years of experience. I've worked within the state tax commissioner's office for years. Right now, I'm in the private sector. I work as full-time for a utility company, but I'm willing to, I have worked with your auditor, I've worked with the tax director, I've worked with commissioners, township assessors at the state office. And when I was employed there, or was working at the tax department. So I kind of know a little bit about Griggs County, but I wasn't, I don't know all of the ins and outs, like the number of assessors you have and things like that. But in supplying the contract, I would like it to be for the 2025 assessment. I would like to propose to you guys today that I follow through with the whole year of assessments. It's important for us to remember that as a tax director, it's not just 2 months out of the year. It's a full-time, 12 months out of the year that you start or to complete an assessment. So I would like to start October 1st and then have the contract completed by October 1st, or October of 2025, which means that that's the month that the State Board of Equalization finalizes or accepts the numbers and assessments of Griggs County, or for matter of fact, for all counties. So, and I understand the situation. I don't know how much has been done as far as the tax assessments for Griggs County. Like, how is your ag land being valued? How is the residential assessments doing? Commercial? How many townships you have, unorganized or not organized?
Right now, nothing has been updated, and nothing, except for the townships doing their assessments.
Did we have a 2024 Board of Equalization in Griggs County?
Yes.
Okay. So that, to me, that, we have to establish a base and then go forward. I plan on, I would prepare a sales ratio for 2024. And then,
Linda, how fast can you get that done? If we do that.
well, I believe that I was going to ask if the state would allow us for one more year, and then we could, I will have to establish the 2024 sales ratio in order to get a base of where we're at. And then we would just move on from there, working, getting the assessments up to par, and then turning in a completed one for 2025. That's what I was going to ask the state if they would allow us just a year for us to get everything put back together again. And I'm assuming that they will not allow us to do that, but but I will put the sales ratio together as quickly as I can for them if they require it, but.
Okay, so you're reviewing your contract. It states you'll start
Yeah.
October 1st, 2024 through October 2025. And I'm just kind of reviewing the changes that you added on here. And the contract is for the not any more than what's in our current budget for sales for the tax director, correct?
Tax director plus benefits. So it'll come out of the tax director budget, but it is budgeted in other line items.
Okay, good.
So yes.
Okay.
And the one that you note on the top one, the county commissioner shall approve all work submitted to the North Dakota Tax Commissioner. I understand that, but there is so much that we submit, and I believe the auditor can attest to that we submit that I mean, I can certainly give you the information to submit it, but again, it's how do I want to put this? It's such a ongoing thing that we go back and forth and nothing that will ever be against Griggs County. It's just what the law requires us to do. You know, reports and mobile home abstracts and things like that. I don't know if that's what you were referring to there, or was it just the sales ratio that you wanted approved?
I think it was more the sales ratio.
I think it was just the sales ratio study, yeah.
I mean, I could be wrong, but that's what it sounded like to me every
Yeah.
past few years.
If you could,
But with
I think it would
the
be,
opportunity, go ahead.
nope, you
I'm
go
sorry.
ahead. Nope, you go ahead.
I think that with the notion that, you know, the 2025 sales ratio is to be submitted to the state by the end of March. So I'm thinking that, in my opinion, I can finish the 2025 sales ratio, the new one, in sometime in February, in order for me to get that information to the townships and the city assessors so they know exactly what they need to do for their assessments. So I can certainly present that to you before I submit it to the state. You know, that can be done. The sales ratio can be done. But there's much more to just the sales ratio. There's you know, the assessments, the increases, the omitted property, the exempt properties, the homestead credits, all of that goes into it. And that's what I was referring to, that type of thing I can't get approved. You know, I can't submit that to you for approval. That's what that's why I crossed it out. But the sales ratio, definitely, I will submit that to you and let you know what's going on. Definitely, every month I'll give you a report. But the sales ratio is just part of the assessment.
Correct, yeah, we understand that. Hey, guys got questions for her? Rod?
You're gonna be working solely from Bismarck on this, as far as you won't be in Griggs County at any time?
Oh, no, I will have to, I plan on holding, I plan on getting together with your local assessors.
Okay.
And then I want to do some type of, something for homestead credits, maybe like you know, after one of your meetings, or having like a meet and greet kind of thing, so that people are aware of the exemptions, the credits. You know, until I find out how many you have and how the local assessors are handling them, I would like to do a meet and greet, and I plan on attending some of the meetings, you know, depending on the weather, but attending it or attending it virtual. Yes, I will have to, with the support from your townships and local assessors, I will be out, you know, reviewing properties that sell and helping them establish. And that's why I kind of crossed out number 6. As a tax director and for the county, we are ultimately responsible for the assessments. So it's very important for us to work, or for me to work with the local assessors to make sure that all of the county is fair and equitable. So, in stating that, I will meet with them, either Zoom or out with them personally, so that they get to know me, so I can understand where they're at. And it's important for us to have Board of Equalizations, they're run properly. All of the tax director position is all in Century Code. So it's very simple, but complicated, but it's simple as we can just follow the rules. And if we do that, you guys, as a county, you will be, it'll be much better for the citizens.
The only thing is with you and Bismarck, you're still gonna be, if a citizen needs to get a hold of you or have any questions, they can still reach out to you and everything else, and you'll get to them or be able to answer any of their questions that they have available for you?
Correct.
Okay.
And I would like, do you have any staff or anything that I could, like leave homestead credits or things like that with them, with the office building, to where they could come in and fill them out there? Or if not, I can do it over the phone. I have I will give them an email. I will have my phone number. They can call me at any time. So I will help the citizens, definitely.
And we actually have an office. We actually have an office here in the courthouse, actually. Tax director's office. Yep.
I think
I'm hoping that with me visiting with the local assessors, we can get some of this taken care of through them. I don't know, do you have any unorganized townships? Are they all organized?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
And with the homestead credits, I think Madison and Samantha have been handling those, right? Yeah.
Mostly Maddie, but
Mostly
yeah.
Maddie.
But
Okay.
you guys would be able to coordinate with her, and you know, if it's too much of a load, you can coordinate with her, and she would definitely help you guys out if anything.
Yeah, I think last year John signed them all.
Okay.
So then it was
Yeah.
just the offices that were, taking them in or whatever, and then John went and signed them.
I just have some folders in my office of empty ones and ones that were filled out.
Linda, I have a couple questions for you.
Okay.
What will be your procedure for keeping confidential documents safe at your home and on your computer? Because we do have some applications with individuals' tax information and identifying information on it. So what is your procedure? What will your procedure be for keeping that information safe?
Thank you for that question. That is very important. That's what I was going to ask the person that helps out with the homestead credit. That's income, and that is how do I want to put this? I have my computer and my home is all secured, and I will keep them only for a limited time, and they can be destroyed. Once the thing is that's important is once they're approved and the state pays us, we don't need to keep them or keep them in a secured location so that nobody gets a hold of them. But there again, that will take some type of legislative change or some kind of a guideline change. A lot of the counties only have one person seeing them and signing them and approving them. So that's very important to keep them safe. So we'll have to discuss it with the local assessors or with, to put it in an envelope and send it to me, or have it someplace there in the court where we can leave them there, in a locked drawer or something like that. I can always send them back to you guys and you can lock them in a drawer. However you want to handle it, that's fine with me, but it's very important that we keep it confidential.
Another
That's
question.
why normally I would just have one person doing it, which was the tax director, of course. But
Another question I have regarding the contract is you're planning on becoming or being an independent contractor. Do you plan or do you have professional insurance in place?
no, I do not, but I could certainly look into that.
I think that would probably be appropriate.
Okay. Also, I did hear from the state that Griggs County is up for an ag land review, and that's about every 6 years, so that's due, I think, the end of January too, so that'll have to be done. And what they do is just to make sure that your valuations on your ag land are within compliance, so that'll have to be one of my first priorities.
I think that was due last year, but we pushed it off to be able to do this year. I think that was the agreement last year when it was due too, but, yeah. I don't have any more questions. I'll make a motion to accept Linda Morris's tax director agreement.
I have one more question. I guess. Number 12 states either party may terminate the contract with 30-day notice. Then it goes on to say Griggs County reserves the right to hire a full-time tax director and will not terminate the contract. So I think we need to clarify that language.
Okay, and here is, as the tax director, if you hire someone, and the reason I put that in there is I would like to do the 2025 assessment. If we hire somebody, hopefully we can hire somebody, I can do the training, and they'll have to be certified. They won't be able to sign off on anything until they're certified. And the reason I put that in there is I will assist them. I will help them to establish what we accomplished throughout the 2025 assessment year, and then they can go forward. It would be like if they were hired in April, that's right in the middle of the assessment cycle. So township meetings and sales ratio, things like that, they would not have a clue as to what is going on. If we find somebody that has experience, absolutely I would hand it over. But it's just to the point that if we get somebody that is not certified or not, I definitely will be willing to work. If we find somebody that has the qualifications, most definitely, I will be in agreement to terminate it. I just feel like we're gonna do all this work, and it's gonna take a lot of work and a lot of support from the commission in order to accomplish this 2025 assessment. But if we do find somebody in the meantime and they're able to take it over, great. I mean, I would be more than willing to dissolve the contract. But it's important that we get a base established, and then if we do find someone, they can just step right in, and I will help them and assist them so they can succeed in their endeavors. I think we may get somebody right away once it's completed, but I don't know that. But does that make sense?
Yes.
Well, I don't think that we want that clause in the contract. I mean, we're stuck. I'm not saying we're stuck with you, but if we find someone that we want to hire, we don't have any way to terminate because we're signing that we're not going to terminate the contract. So I think the best thing to do is just put a 30-day notice in there with the understanding with Linda that if someone's hired, that she needs to train them.
Oh,
And then just coordinate with her on
I mean, that's up to
training
you guys to
and
figure out
everything
what you
else.
want to do, but I don't think that we have a contract that we can't terminate in there. That language is all, the language that's added in there doesn't, I guess is opposing to the first sentence of the clause. So I think we just have, either party may terminate the contract with 30-day notice and make the decision at that point how long you want to keep the relationship.
right. Does that make sense, Linda?
Lindy's still there?
Yep,
Okay,
yes, I am.
like Jamie was stating, is that if we keep the termination of 30-day notice, it doesn't have to be, the minute we hire somebody, you're done. It could be, it would just be whenever we feel comfortable to let you go if somebody was hired. That way we can, it'll still be in that point.
Okay,
That sounds good.
okay.
Okay. Okay. So let me go back to my motion.
One other question is, on that insurance that Jamie spoke about, is that something that we'll have put in place before she starts, or how we?
Well, she doesn't start until October 1st, so,
But that's only 10 days from now.
yeah.
Will she
I think
have-
that's important. I think that if there's a contractor, I think to protect herself and to protect us, I think she should have professional responsibility
Okay.
insurance.
Yep.
Should we put that, can we put that in the contract
You
then?
can.
Can you work on that, Linda?
I will.
Okay.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to accept the tax director equalization agreement as stated, with the addition of insurance coverage for Linda and the
30-day.
30-day notice intact.
There's a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second it.
Second by Averill, sorry, in those days. Any more discussion, guys? Any more discussion? Anything else you can think of, guys? Floor's yours right now, so. On that one. Okay, I'll take a voice vote on this. So, Averill,
Aye.
Eli, sorry.
Aye.
Zorn,
Nay.
Steph,
Aye.
Trying votes aye. So, motion carries.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you.
Next item of business. County Road 8. Wayne, you're up.
What do you need? There you go. I don't have a packet, I don't know if
Here's your packet.
if you had something in there from that sign company.
That is not in the packet, but it was sent out to them. So I just have a copy of it right here.
We got it, Sam.
Yep.
Got it.
That's what we talked about.
Yep.
Traffic Logic, you asked me to look into the cost of radar signs indicating your speed. And I got a quote from Traffic Logic, was what Newman Signs uses when they get them, but I went directly to Traffic Logic. And I think you have copies of the quote. $6,466 for 2 signs
And that's to own the signs then?
to own.
And then the question on that is, and then we can go in there and program any speed limit we want to on that, so if for some reason the road gets fixed or something gets changed or whatever, we can change that.
Well, it just flashes whatever speed you're going.
Okay, but I mean, we can.
So if you have a sign that says 35
Yeah.
and you're driving 37, it's
Yeah.
gonna show your.
But what I'm saying is, we can go in there and program it to change the speed limit if we ever need to.
Yeah, you won't ever have to,
Okay.
because I don't know how far up it goes, but
Okay.
You come with a 1-year warranty, unlimited safe base cloud access, and after that yearly, you can renew bundling sign powers down, no traffic is present. Programmable speed violator flashing strobe, so you can program it to 35 miles an hour. And if somebody's going beyond that, strobe lights would come on. But it didn't arrest somebody at the same time. So this just comes with a banding mount bracket, and it's Bluetooth accessible. There's no little trailer or anything, but I think we can mount it on a regular signpost, or one on each end of that grade.
They're solar powered then, rechargeable
Solar
battery?
powered battery pack in the solar power thing. I don't know if there's a bracket for that, you mount that on top of the sign.
Availability, how long do they get one?
I don't know how long it's gonna take. The quote is valid for 21 days. So that's the report. Then I asked Paul Bjornson from KLJ to look over the project, see what required to get it back into mitigation possible to get it open. And so that's what this memorandum is. I'm not gonna read the whole thing.
No, should I have Paul just discuss it a little bit, Wayne, please?
You sure can.
So, you wanna take the floor first, Paul? Paul from KLJ is here, so,
Sure. Yeah,
Please.
I wrote up this memo.
yeah, please.
You know, you're addressing safety concerns and what you can do about it.
Yeah.
You know, basically there's 3 problems with the road. There's horizontal curve coming in right next to where it changes surface type. The changing the surface type is a problem, and then the steep inslopes with rock on them are the main safety hazards. So I mean, if you're coming in fast, you can slide off the road and go in the water. I think you had one vehicle do that over the last, in the last 4 years that it's been in this condition. It was basically an emergency raise to get it back open to traffic when went over the roadway. I mean, it was totally flooded in early spring 2020. It would have been eligible at that time for emergency relief funds to do the permanent repairs, but it would have cost the county, total cost of the local share of that project of about $600,000. So the county opted to do the emergency work on their own. The emergency work would have been 100% reimbursable through ER, but you still would have had the cost you're committed then to do the permanent work.
Yeah.
So that was why they didn't do it then. So I guess for the riprap within the clear zone and really steep slopes, I mean, there's every agency probably has roads that aren't perfect or aren't up to their current design standards, but to mitigate that, I guess we'd suggest reducing the speed limit, putting up hazard markers along the shoulders that would offset those. Put one on one side. Don't put them right across from each other. Shift them 100 feet or 150 feet, so you can get headers through there without knocking them down, because they're going to be a maintenance concern. You're going to be in the way for snow removal, but you really should have something there to alert the public that if they drop a wheel off that road, it's a danger. Ideally, you'd have chevrons around the curves, but there's not really room to do that, so I think having since the inslopes are so steep, the hazard markers are probably a better idea. And then since it's on a curve, you've got the design speed under 750, average daily traffic for 40 miles an hour or less. So if you would drop it to 35 through there, the minimum clear zone is 7 feet at a 4-to-1. So you're not going to get that without doing a pretty significant project on there, or cutting the road back down to where it was, or doing some significant work. And then there's also, since it's on a curve, you have a factor that you have to increase that by, and that's on that last page.
Yeah, I saw that.
So I just put the whole table in there, put it into what speed you guys are supposed to that. And then, since this, traffic counts are only about 120 vehicles per day, you can probably get by with a little bit less than that using the very low volume road design guide from AASHTO. But it's still, you're going to have flatter slopes than what's there to make it so you wouldn't have to sign it. And then the other thing is, people aren't, if you put up those radar signs, it helps for compliance with the speed limit, but the law enforcement is really going to have to enforce it somewhat. To be able to have some sort of a presence out there to get people to slow down. Let's see. And so those are the reasons, or the things you can do about the roadway where it's at. The other concern is that with it closed, you're shifting people onto a township road that isn't really in any better shape. It's not going through the water, but you have, narrower road. It's
Two hills.
design speed.
Two hills. Yeah.
Snow removal is it's a minimum maintenance road, so does that get plowed in the winter even currently? You'd be shifting that responsibility onto the township or plowing it yourself, and either way, I don't know that that's a better solution. And neither idea is great, but you had it open for 4 years the way it was. I don't know that it was necessary to close it in response to a letter, but you probably should make the improvements to get it to be safer for the public, if you're going to open it back up.
What, Wayne, what do you got? Of the list he has, what do you currently have ready to do? We already made the motion for the 35, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we already did the speed.
I have the white 35 mile per hour signs.
Okay.
I have the object markers. And I have the reduced speed ahead.
Okay.
I got 2 reduced speed ahead signs, one for each end, before the 35, because you're coming from 55, I think, in Foster County into this. We have a yellow sign there now, but we'll take the yellow one off, the advisory one. Put the white one west of Lyle's driveway. And the reduced speed would be farther north. Then we have these, you can see
I can see it.
these signs.
Yep.
Could be back to back, one left, one right. And the arrow slashes towards the road, so you're supposed to drive between that, just like crossing a bridge. We have enough of those signs to put them up, like Paul said, stagger them so that you can get around with the equipment, but have them on the edge of the driving surface.
Okay.
At night, now that'll be really great for at night, because right now it's just dark, your headlights or whatever, if it's foggy or hard to see, but these signs will reflect. It should alert people that this is where the road is. I'm supposed to be driving 35. And if you choose to get those flashing signs, radar signs that will show them I'm driving more than 35.
Right.
Right. Those I do pay attention to the one coming into town. I come in town every day from up north, and it's like, oh, look at that! I probably should slow down.
I'm worried that Amber's sitting around some.
I am looking for you.
I don't know how they work in the wintertime. Supposed to. I think the batteries might wear down a little quicker, but that solar should charge. that would be up to you guys to decide if I should order them. I've got the quote. Just have to have a signature on it. Could be me, could be Scott, or whoever.
So basically we get those stuff in place.
But just the signs, I don't think you need them up right away, because if you have 35 there and you have the delineators to mark out the roadway, you gotta
How-
lie.
How's the gravel up there right now, Wayne, when
Yeah.
we come off the pavement and stuff? Is that dip still there? Can we?
There's one little bump
Yeah.
on the west end. I think it's on the pavement. The west end has been breaking up because of the high water and soft. And so we've covered up some of that, but could probably put a thicker layer farther up.
Mhm.
In Foster County, it might help.
It'll pound out of there.
Yeah.
It's just gonna have, you're gonna need maintenance.
Right.
Yeah.
Weekly or whatever the grader's been coming out
Yeah.
pretty much every week.
I think that's the big thing, is we just keep maintenance on it, just keep that, you know, if we can keep the speed down and stuff. I'm just, when you come off pavement onto gravel and you get that bounce. And if you're
Yeah.
going too fast and it's dark. and
You lose the
stuff,
control.
Yep.
Yeah,
So
you're
if
right.
we can just pull some regular maintenance on it, keep speed down.
Yep.
Um,
Water truck would be great. When it gets dry, it's,
You can't compact it, you know.
Yeah.
gravel gets so hard that you can't hardly cut it when you're coming with a maintainer.
Sure.
Where it starts hopping.
What? How soon could you change those signs over, Wayne?
And have it done right away.
Okay.
Right now, the guys that are doing that are hauling gravel.
No, that's fine. I'm just curious what you're up to. So.
And ideally, those hazard markers be off the shoulder a little bit, but I mean, you're right on them.
Water.
You know,
Yeah.
I've been up there. I know.
2-to-1 riprap slope that you
Yeah.
can pound it into the rock.
Yeah.
So, and people do tend to, move to the center if it's just one car on the gravel road, so they're
Yeah.
usually got 3 tire tracks instead of 4.
4, yeah.
On a gravel road.
Okay.
Yeah.
That road's been pretty good though,
Yeah, people do.
as far as
Because they're short.
not staying in the middle,
Right.
for whatever reason.
Probably just because it's short stretches.
Yeah, I don't know, they don't, a lot of the gravel roads have down the center only, as you travel, but this one's been unbelievable
Yeah.
that way, but so there's a lot of traffic there. I gotta watch when I come out of my driveway.
Yeah, I may have driven it this morning, but I don't want to incriminate myself in front of the sheriff. I was inspecting.
She'll get you. She'll get you.
Okay.
That's a busy road, and then when school starts, it's even more busy, of course.
Yeah. Well, and people are driving around the signs. I mean, the grass is knocked down pretty good.
Yeah.
So the question is do you feel it's necessary or safe enough for us to open it now? And if we do, get that stuff and we'll be fine.
I can't really say that as an engineer, I
No.
guess. I can, in Century Code, the county is the road owner and the Board of County Commissioners has the sole authority to open and close the roadway. I guess I have that written in the beginning of it, but I'm just giving you the information that we see and, as far as moving forward to make it where it has an appropriate clear zone, I mean, that's not a small project for that. I mean,
No.
You either scrape it back down to where it was, or so you can pave it, or so you can use the old pavement, or if you're gonna pave it, though, you need to have it'd have to be widened and slopes flattened to be a permanent fix. I mean, I understand it's emergency condition. I don't think that closing it and shifting people onto the township road is
Necessary.
safer.
Yeah.
Are there still programs available to subsidize fixing those roads?
Well, like I said, it was, raising it up, you probably aren't gonna, unless you have a really big flood where that water body goes up several feet and goes over the roadway again, it's not gonna qualify for ER or federal funds. But, I mean, there are other grant opportunities out there. We did submit for one and didn't get it, but we may resubmit here whenever the next solicitation for flexible transportation funds is.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what other funds are out there. guess we do look at grant opportunities all the time, that, since it is open.
I know Wayne's pretty good about that, is if there's a grant available to get something in there and get it fixed, or see what we can do, apply for that. And like we were saying last week, getting some letters of support would definitely help speed that up next time we apply for some grants.
Mhm.
I know he was saying he was gonna help with that too, get some letter of support in there, so next time we sent in for one, you know, he said, it was like, they said that with the Hannaford Road, one of the reasons why that went through was they got a lot of letter of support from the elevator there. So you get a lot of citizens saying, hey, we do need to fix this. The signatures, letter of support might definitely help speed up the process on that also.
Yeah, I did draft the letter of support for the elevator, so we got that back for that project, and that, those do help, those carry weight.
There's a lot of
And for the
delivery
city
trucks.
too, I believe.
A lot of delivery trucks and grain trucks and
Mhm.
buses. There's some critical transportation that goes through there.
Yeah.
Sure. Well, and I think if you get, letters of support from, like the school.
Yeah, the school, the people who live on the road, just anybody. And like I said, just a letter from the sports school is gonna just do huge numbers, just because of that. And then, like I said, all the people living on the road get them. They're
So,
really gonna be.
Will somebody contact people? So
That part I don't know if. I know he was saying, were you gonna work on that?
Well, I would, and I guess that's
Yeah.
why we're even talking about
Okay.
it. The letter that was sent was not to be malicious
No.
or threaten the county, but that's how it was taken.
Yeah.
Sure.
And so now writing a letter of support, I suppose I have to have an attorney draw one up so the wording isn't all critical, because everybody can break it down however they want to interpret it.
A lot of times, people that are writing the grant applications draft letters of support for each agency and send them to them.
And I mean, if we get to that point, I guess I would be in contact with you from the different services that, our emergency services, our fire department, our ambulance, they've shown concern over it. I've talked to some of them and they're like, now what do we do when we have something happen there? And it's, it's the general public. I know for a fact that they've rolled around it ever since, but
Right.
I'm not gonna do that with school children or with my fuel business or,
Sure.
and said we're on a road now that's a minimum maintenance where a lot of farm equipment use that road and it's a narrow road,
Right.
Coming up over the east hill and then that correction line on the west hill. I mean, I tell my drivers, you go into that at 10, 15 miles an hour with riding the shoulder because you don't know if a combine or a high school kid's gonna come over that thing 60 miles an hour, it's just.
Yeah.
I think Foster County said that they would also help with the support letter when you guys do apply again, since it is a connecting road.
Yep.
So keep that in mind, yep.
How soon would you be able to take the signs down, do you think?
The open closure signs?
Yeah.
Well, that's what we discussed right now. That's our next
You've
question.
got a lot of new signs are up already, we've noticed that.
You got some new signs up already.
No,
You changed them out. You changed those, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just
Yeah. That's what are.
white ones.
Yeah.
The yellow ones were just advisory.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
And the white ones with black letters are, what are they?
regulatory.
That's what you follow, Wayne, unlike you.
She is the sheriff,
So can we get this open tomorrow, you think?
Well, that's what I was saying.
That's why we're here.
Try to get it open tomorrow morning.
Great.
Wouldn't be ready for the buses in the morning, but.
So what's your thoughts, Lennis? Since you're, speaking of full disclosure here, I do work for Lennis as for substitute school bus driver, so people know that ahead of time. So anyway, I'm just being up and open there, guys. Anyway, me and Wayne took a spin last Thursday, and drove the road and saw all the problems and stuff we had on it. And then we also did the road to the south, and the road to the south is, in my opinion, way worse than what we have right now. There's two big hills in that thing, and
And the problem is that your next option to the south is 200. Well, are we gonna
Correct.
start putting kids on the bus at
Too early.
To 6 in the morning. I mean,
Yep.
parents are not gonna,
Happy.
this is gonna get pretty ugly, you know.
Yep.
And to the north, we go 7-8 miles up to the Hoffman Road, which we run a bus now because that road is after the exchange in McHenry. One route ends up north of McHenry, so they come across. Well, there's, by the Hoffmans, there's a couple, 3 bad spots, and he told me the other day, he said, well, I'm meeting machinery on there, and you know, it's, some of them have the headers on, they tilt the header, you know, and well, a bus, you know, you try to get down out of the way, and it's, you know, they just have to be way more, I mean, I always preach defensive driving, but right now, you're really pinned where you better be.
I know. Rod, what do you think? You did some legwork on this too.
I did, you know, and I think the biggest thing is, you know, if we get the speed slowed down and get the, you know, the bump out of it so that somebody doesn't lose control. I like the idea of the signs. The only other thing that I might suggest adding, you know, that I see in construction and is they put those, they're just a solar power, but they, on top of those signs, they put those blinking lights. The only problem with those is they're kind of a header magnet, you know, like combines kind of knock them off, but there's something I see a lot, you know, when you drive at night and there again, kind of, I don't even know what those would cost or if that was necessary, but you know, they're just
the regular.
Yeah, just that round one, you know, that sits right on the top. They've got a solar little pack on them.
Yes, I think ours has the battery inside, but turns off and on with the light.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when it gets light out, they're shut off. It's all dark.
Oh, that was nice.
Yeah.
We might have, 4 wouldn't be enough.
But you know, if we just bought some more of them, you know, and put on there.
Anything that's more static like that, that's always on and always flashing, people tend to ignore that, right? Really early. I mean, it's limited effectiveness. That's why you only see it on construction projects that are temporary.
Okay.
People ignore them, but they're shown to be pretty ineffective.
Okay.
For long term.
Okay. No, if that's the case, then we'll avoid that. But if we do the signs and the speed, and you know, I know you got it on a maintenance program, and just continue with the maintenance program, and I would say try and keep it as smooth as we can. You know, if it needs gravel.
It's usually after a rain or something where it runs down and it gets soft. Because it's not very thick, you know, it's just tapered down to nothing.
You know, and I know it's kind of a long ways out of what route, but where, you know, I know the gravel from the Retzlaff pit really packs. Is something like that better? Is it we're hauling a load of that up there, or several?
That's what we hauled that up
Okay,
there.
okay.
And we went across both grades with that gravel.
Okay.
And tried to crown it up to the water stand in the middle.
Yep.
There's a pretty good crown on it right now. So hopefully we go into the winter with that crown. Water should run off. No snow, be great.
Yeah, what's that? Amber, can you do a little more patrolling up there for us, please?
Yes, sir. I will
Please.
put that on the calendar starting today.
Okay. So what are you guys' thoughts, I guess? You know, you're the board.
Lesser of two evils?
That's my opinion, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, make a motion to open it back up.
Okay.
In addition, that it gets smoothened out a little bit more and those signs get put up today.
He was gonna blade it that day, but then we put the signs up.
What about, before we make that motion, or I guess the motion is fine, do we want to put into that are we gonna go ahead with the $6,000 on the?
I was gonna.
Yeah,
I don't know if you want to do a separate motion for that.
Let's
Let's
do a separate motion for that. You can do that,
Because
Ron.
I agree, but I think we need those signs to make that work.
Okay.
Okay. Then. Should I make a motion on the signs first, and then if we approve the signs, then do the motion on the road?
You guys already have a pending motion.
We got a pen motion for the road first.
Okay, I don't know.
Let's do the road first.
Okay.
You know, and then second probably have that for the flashing signs. How's that sound, guys? Separate motions. Okay.
Okay.
So Rod's got, sorry,
Hero.
Josh.
Josh, this one is days today, must be Monday. Josh has a motion on the floor to reopen the County Road 8 with the, additions of
The smoothing of the
The road.
dip and the extra
signage, correct, okay, I know. So, do I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Steph seconds, okay. Any discussion?
Your motion to include all the signs that they recommended?
Mm-hmm.
We have all those signs to do it, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then yes,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. Okay, do we have any more discussion? Any more discussion? Okay, all in favor of reopening County Road 8? Say aye.
Aye.
Same sign opposed? Motion carried.
Okay.
Okay, next question on the flashing light signs. Okay, what are you guys thinking here?
The only thing is, I mean, you know, Wayne, do you got in your budget? No, yes?
Yeah.
No?
Move something around.
Yeah,
Okay,
we can do it.
so. Then I say I'll make a motion to get those flashing signs in.
Second that.
Okay. Josh has the original motion, Rod seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, that's a,
Oh, it's purchasing, so we
Yeah,
gotta do
it's
it.
Oh, I can purchase, we gotta do a voice vote, sorry about that. Okay, so we'll do that again. So I'll take a voice vote on that. Avriel,
aye.
Mandy.
Aye.
Eli, sorry.
Aye.
Aye from Zorn,
Aye.
aye from Edlin, and I'll vote aye too as Tranby. Okay. Motion carried.
Would you check with Newman on those signs and see if they have them on the,
They don't have them.
they don't,
No, I talked to, when I ordered these other signs, I asked her who I talked to. She said, we don't have them, but that's what we go through.
Okay.
Traffic Logic. So I directly called Traffic Logic and talked to them. And they came up with a quote, emailed it back to me. So I don't know the availability, but it's coming right from them, so I would assume they would have them, but it's gonna take.
yeah.
Probably take a couple
Few days
weeks,
to ship your-
yeah, a couple weeks to get it shipped here, something like that.
Okay. Okay, that sounds good, Wayne. So, okay.
Up as soon as we get them.
Are you gonna build them like on a trailer, like what's out in the west end of town, you think, or are you just thinking more of a permanent fix? Almost more of a permanent thing.
Permanent, so,
Yeah.
You should be able to just mount them on a pole, kinda like the speed limit sign, shouldn't you?
Yeah, they'll just still take a sawzall, cut the post out.
It's better to steal a trailer.
Bad trailer than sawzalls.
That's about right too. Anyway. Okay, we'll move on. Primary resident credit. You want to take that, Eli or Maddie, please?
Yes, you got a call?
Yes, I
right?
did. I
Okay.
did.
And
Okay.
do you want to just kind of talk about what your call was first?
Thanks, Lennis.
Go into it?
Yeah.
Okay.
What? I had a phone call here on the preliminary tax statements that came out. We have that the credit for primary residence on there. It's not on ours. Some of the ones other counties out west had it on theirs, you know. So the phone call about why it wasn't on it, the $500 credit. So you want to explain why it's not there, Maddie, please?
Yeah, so, told you guys a long time ago, Kelly Hornstein with Dakota Programs was not making any changes to his program, so that was one of them. They weren't creating a spot for us to enter that into our tax statements. I did ask, we have a little email group of the people in Dakota Programs, and I asked if any of them put it on there. As of right now, I haven't checked again, but this morning, 2 of them said that they didn't put it on. 2 of them did. One of them put it on. Their IT had to manipulate things and do a lot of footwork in order to get it on there.
Yeah.
One county said yes, but she didn't say how. I don't know if she did the same thing or if she hand wrote it. I'm not sure, but that is our plan for December statements, is Bryce and I are going to handwrite all of we're gonna have to go through the list,
Okay.
find that tax statement, write if they got the credit or
Not.
not, yep.
It'll take some time.
Yep. So yeah, it'll take Probably, I would say a full day of just sending out those estimated tax statements takes us a full week.
Yeah.
Printing them, folding them, stuffing them. So it'll
Okay.
take some extra time, but that's our plan. But that's the reason why it wasn't on there.
Okay.
There wasn't really a way for us to put it on there. So
Okay.
yeah, I've had a couple calls and we just let them know that we'll be on their December tax statement and yeah, they say all right.
Yeah, no, it sounds
Yep.
good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, next thing is the COVID funds. Steph, you want to go on that, please?
Well, it's not just me, it's our little Samantha who
And Samantha.
does great work on this. I visited with her the other day and I think I hogged her whole day.
Maddie did up that informational sheet, so it's been a group project, so.
Well, thank you both of you ladies.
Yes.
It's on page 13 there. It's about that there.
As on here, Linda also from the association has been a wonderful help with us, and because I tell you that association is a great resource. If you guys ever have any questions, I'm going to suggest you reach out to the Association of Counties for the assistance. But with that, we do have $338,000. Yeah, because we have the budget for 2025 budget. We moved over 33,000. 590.21 is going to go into 2025 budget. So that'll bring it down to 338,000. 524.87. That's what I subtracted to be.
This sheet does not have the other ARPA funds that we had allocated for. We used it for the radios and repeaters for the emergency. It was for the Sheriff's Department and DES. And then it was said that we were going to use the remaining funds for the CPT software.
Which was 62,000 or 63,000? How much was it? 60?
Are you talking about CPT or are you talking about how much COVID funds we have?
The CP, how much was left over in the 100,000 that we were going to put towards the CPT?
There was
50, right?
in the ARPA, hold on one second.
Sure.
Let me grab that up here.
With those funds being stated, I'm just going to throw this out there. I did visit with Samantha and Madison, and we did make a motion to go towards that DOS software CPT. The contract was not signed. I followed it. They have done minimal starting on that. I did follow up with Ron, with Tyler, and asked if the quote was still good. And the quote is still good for if you wanted to roll that route. And I, of course, would like to use these ARPA funds to upgrade to get a Windows-based software versus to downgrade to the CPT DOS software.
I guess I'll just flat out say it. I don't think it's appropriate to discuss what you guys are gonna do between the programs because it's not on the agenda. It's a $200,000 situation. COVID funds were on the agenda, but nothing was on the agenda about spending money on a different program. So I think that's inappropriate, and I think that the citizens and taxpayers should have the ability to have some input on that.
I think the agenda having the COVID funds on there was the thought to discuss where to spend it, being that it needs to, in ideas to where to put that towards, since we do need to allocate it.
They have to be allocated by the end of the year.
Yeah, but end of the year and spent by 2026.
That's correct.
So,
but it's deceitful to the taxpayers to say COVID funds and not talk about where you're going to spend the money or not what your plans are. I mean, so it could have been CPT versus Tyler Technologies could have been put on the agenda, and it's not COVID funds. So me, as the state's attorney looking into this, I see COVID funds, it's discussion of COVID funds, not CPT versus Tyler and voting to spend another $150,000 on a program. To me, that at minimum, that looks deceitful. And I think that's what the taxpayers would think too.
In the ARPA funds, we have 65,204.58 after the radios were spent. So it was the 65,000 to be used for CPT.
Did that not be decided? It seems like that the last meeting I was at, that they had picked a vendor, didn't they?
CPT.
Yeah.
We sit in here as commissioners, the five of us, and we run a democracy. Democracy means that we vote and we stand by our vote, and we voted it. I didn't vote it because there wasn't funds. I voted it because I didn't think we needed it. And if we're gonna have the support of the community behind us, we better stick to what we stand by and what we voted. We don't come back 2 months later and think that we got money that we can change it, because where do we stand as a democracy? Where do we stand when the public comes and says, well, I know, but can you help me? Can we do this? No, we cannot. We have, I mean, are we gonna vote down Wayne's blades and, you know, that, when it comes time for in between John Deere and Butler, and then 2 months later, the guys are still complaining that they got John Deere's, and we're like, well, I guess we can do it. No, we have voted on this. That's why we have a budget.
No, point well taken, Rod. Anyway, I think we'll just need to move on in that one. Sorry.
I was just saying it was as an idea, an opportunity to be able to upgrade and purchase software that would better the county in a whole for actually it's for all the citizens. It is the software that runs the county. It was just a thought idea to move forward to bring to the table.
No, we'll just let that one. Like I said, you know, we voted on originally, and we need to keep by that vote. Right? Yeah. Okay. So, anything else, guys?
So the question on that is basically whatever we don't spend by the end of this year, end of next year.
It has to be allocated by this year, spent by 2027 or 6.
26, yeah.
So we already made a motion on that. I was gonna say maybe we could. Well, if anything, let's get since we're not 100% sure, we can maybe use it for that sign and everything too. We'll go with that if Wayne doesn't have enough or something like that. You know, at least get something out of it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, because I don't want to have to get back a whole bunch of money that we could have used. That's what sucks.
Well, it can be allocated for. It
No,
doesn't
I'm not arguing about
but
that.
I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be spent in 24. So if you guys have budget items that you guys want to allocate it for in 2025 or 2026, you have the opportunity to do that. So
Okay.
it's not, the money isn't necessarily burning a hole in the county's pocket. It is by 2026, but you guys have to find something to allocate it to before that. So if you guys want to update sheriff's cars or or put a heating and cooling system in someplace, you need to allocate it, but it doesn't have to be, the check doesn't have to be written by the end of the year.
Okay.
So we're not really floundering, but projects or whatever the county needs to do should be looked at before the end of the year, and it should be allocated to those projects.
No, that's fine. So I just wanted to make sure. But if we still, like you said, we still got some time, then that's great.
Yeah, there's 3 months to figure out what the county needs with that money.
Okay.
But it should be done by then. It needs to be allocated by the end of the year, but not spent.
Okay.
I think your agenda item was to discuss that, right? That's where it could be used for.
Yeah, that's what we're.
But not necessarily committed to anything.
Yeah.
Correct. To brainstorm ideas as to where we can put these ideas towards.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I know that you had mentioned in the past about Wayne wanting a Bobcat. I think equipment out there would be.
Did you have, I was trying to think about it. Did you have some other funds that could be used for equipment? it could only be used for equipment, or was it the flood funds or excess flood funds or
The legacy,
funds?
the legacy
That's what
interest,
Okay,
interest from the legacy fund
that's what it was.
could be used on wages or equipment.
Was that, how much was in that one, like 90 some thousand? Is that right? It wasn't, Sam?
I can't remember on that.
90 something, yeah. She can check.
We could probably add that on to the next meeting, I suppose.
Because I remember you saying that this could only be used for equipment or I couldn't remember about that, but I knew that we had some other.
Because I think Stephanie said, "Oh, raises,"
I did.
and then she said, "Oh, bobcat or a
Steer."
not necessarily brand name.
Well, are there any pieces of equipment you feel that you need besides that, or more signage or something like that?
We need more trucks. We need newer trucks. We need newer trailers. We need
Yeah, you know,
We used to have 4 blades.
4 blades.
Is there any way maybe next meeting you could bring us a list of stuff that you need? Maybe we can kind of figure it out, help you figure some of it out.
Yeah, $98,415.70.
So we are getting into October. Would you like me to keep COVID funds on the agenda, just to kind of keep it
Yes.
rolling as like an agenda item, so
Yeah.
like keep it on your brains and
Yeah.
If anybody has any ideas,
Well, yeah, that's some too. Maybe we reach out to some of the departments. Maybe they might need a few things too that we can.
that would be a great idea. I like that idea, is to reach out to reach out departments to have, is there anything on their lists that they would like to see?
Yeah.
You know, improvements on the building. I do know this garage over here that's supposed to have that ventilation system was never hooked up. So there is no, I do know in this building itself, there are 2 or 4 furnaces that were never hooked up.
and we do have a I think it's the AC unit that goes out every single year, and I could talk to Logan Sherlock about that to see what exactly that was that he was talking about, but he was talking about that we needed to replace.
He fills something every year and
It's got a leak, and what probably happens is got a leak, and then when it runs out, it probably doesn't have a pressure switch, so it probably burns out the compressor, and then they're swap out compressors, and then add into it every year, stuff like that. So depending on the age of the system, you're almost better off to replace it than constantly fix it, or to try and find a way to fix it to limit it by.
There's like ideas before, security cameras for the building.
So
You
it'd be nice to have all the department heads and everything else just give us a general list, and we can maybe next meeting sit through that list, or next couple meetings sit through the list and figure this out, and then that way some of these funds can be allocated, and then it doesn't come out of taxpayers' pockets, and then we could use some of this up to benefit us like we should.
I got a question for Wayne.
Can these be used for bonuses? Just kidding.
I actually think one of the COVID funds can be used for retention bonus, but I don't remember which one it is.
Well, these can be used for anything. So, my 2 cents to throw out that I like to add on the list is I would like a better recording system in here. So when we post them online, because our current recording is right there, you can hear every shuffle of paper that everybody does, or typings, or writings, or tapping fingers on the table, and it's disruptive. And when talking, you can hear the one who's closest to it, but you can't hear Rod per se as well, or a better recording system would be nice, since we are
Something like centrally, like that.
Like the Zoom is right now. Correct.
That would be great if we could have a better recording system.
That is why you guys have these pens and not clickers.
That would be good for the sheriff's office too, if we could use that when we interview people. If we could just come in here instead of having, because we don't have anything like that.
Yeah.
Can Zoom record?
Yep.
I think so, but I don't know how too.
But even on Zoom, because I Zoom in quite often, that one little speaker right there doesn't pick up enough of everybody, so it's not always clear, so I don't always hear everything.
So maybe have
Even microphone, like in the courthouse, I had the microphones at each person. That was nice, or closer to, you know. But anyways, those are ideas as to what,
Travis could give an idea on a better recording system type of deal.
you know, like security cameras. You've been talking about that for years.
I
Things are
did-
lists. We can get the.
I did get a security assessment done. It was linked through the for elections, but then since our polling place is here, they linked it for all of us. So I mean, we could bring some of those ideas too for security.
One question for Wayne. We've talked briefly in the past about you wanting a Bobcat. And the other thing that I'm thinking of is that we've had people ask about snow removal up here, about icy and stuff, you know, and I know you guys have been up here with the payloader. Well, obviously, if we had a skid steer, we could do a lot better job and keeping keeping things clean and snow. It is so hard with payloaders and stuff. I mean, to not
big.
damage concrete and
Get one of those
They're too
pads or
big.
whatever
They're too big.
on front of it.
They're
That
too big.
clean that brushes it off.
yeah, even if we buy you one with a broom on the front of it, just to broom up, you know, everything would really, you know, if they came up with a bucket and a broom or whatever, and even moved the snow first and then broomed it afterwards.
Annetta Parkby purchased one a couple of years ago, and it had the blade, the blower, and the broom, all the attachments with it. It is wonderful, and it cut time in half, as far as doing it and keeping up with the.
And even the broom, you know, you guys doing asphalt, you know, doing a patch job to sweep up everything, and they just work phenomenal. So
Just the other day, they were hauling gravel, and so was somebody else, and somebody left their doors open.
Oh no.
Not us. And went across the intersection on the Hannaford Road, and it shook gravel loose and stones and
yeah,
everything. So if you'd had a broom to run out there and broom that off.
Yeah, if you want to get some numbers on
Yeah.
that for us.
yeah.
Like I said, just get your department, numbers on that. Maybe some minor stuff on your department end too that you think we could use some updating or at least some money to get it fixed or whatever else too.
Yeah, I'll have to ask for quotes. or
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
fine.
for,
That's fine. But
like,
Out here, yeah.
Here and Bobcat.
You know, I don't know how we, you know, this is getting the cart way in front of the horse, but how we'd pay for it or not. But you know, we make the payments on a
Blade.
blade and stuff like that. You know, they have 0% interest out. You know,
Right.
you know, it's just things we have to look at. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'm not picking one brand over another, but
I mentioned Wayne one time about, I know we have leases on the blades. Did they do the same thing on trucks? I don't know, what do you know about that, Rod? Did anybody do that?
well, you can get a lease on a truck, but you've got to buy such a new truck. And I'm not saying the guys
Yeah.
don't need better trucks, but I don't think we want to go new
Okay.
enough to get depth and all that stuff.
Okay.
I think we'd be better off.
Okay.
Right. If you want to stay below the deaf line, I think.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, there's just such a pain, but other question I have, you know, we look at, just the other day I was down in South Dakota and we were waiting to get unloaded and I was in there fumbling through, and here they had equipment catalog of stuff for sale, coming up for sale, and there was belly dumps, M dumps, plow trucks. Anyway, it was, and things I thought were extremely reasonable.
Yeah, we get them, a lot of times they come up here, I think. But then they'll give me the catalog or the magazine that has that stuff in it.
You know, so I don't know how you're sitting on your belly dumps and stuff. I've been by there many times and they look pretty patched. You know,
Yeah. Sometimes there's online auctions and stuff too.
right.
Amberly, I mentioned that.
Safely turn off.
Oh, I'm so sorry I interrupted you. No, Amberly, I just let you sit down. I mentioned that your garage that is back here for the vehicles don't have that exhaust system hooked up. That would be kind of on the wish list. Do you by chance know how much that would be to? I suppose you wouldn't know.
No. And for us, as long as the heater works back there, which I don't know if it has been lately, when I left it did, the little heater.
Yeah, I don't know if, I
That-
think Brian said
we don't leave
something-
anything running back there, or so it wouldn't be high on our list. Maybe
Okay.
Brian though, I don't know.
I think Brian said something about there's supposed to be floor heat in there, is there? Jamie?
There is, and it's not hooked up.
But you didn't think, yeah, so it wasn't hooked up.
I don't know. did they-
Things like the building things that weren't completed, if anybody has a checklist on that, that would be kind of nice to be able to complete some of the building checklists that, I do know there are 2 or 4 furnaces that were never, do they need to be hooked up? I am not sure.
But that,
You know.
I think Brian has said that, but he doesn't know where the thermostats, like he doesn't know where they would be hooked up or
Right.
anything. So it's
Right.
not like we're missing them or anything. But yeah,
Right.
Brian had said something about that.
Yeah.
We were talking about those microphones, both Nelson and Ramsey both have the individual ones too.
Do they?
You guys want to reach out to them, see what they got, if they like it or not. Seems to work well.
Headsets or just?
The stand mic sit in front of them, they push a button and talk.
I think Steele's got those too. I could be wrong, but I think that mic's on some of theirs too.
Could be.
Yeah, I think they seem to like those. Again, I could be wrong, but.
Well, anything else? We'll move on to the next item is background reference checks, guys. So who is in charge of this one? Jamie?
Jamie.
I am. So I simplified it and added a list of offenses that I think should move people.
Sorry, I just want to look at it. I'm taking this after you're done, okay? Please.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
See ya.
you, Wayne,
Thanks,
for
Wayne.
everything. Thank you, Paul.
Thank you guys.
Thanks, Paul.
So what are you guys' thoughts on this, guys? Take a peek.
So is this just on if we hire somebody?
Yeah,
Okay, how about
This is
like,
gonna be straight across the board on everybody, correct?
yes.
so my question on that is like, you know, with this new tax director, it's contract deal.
Contract. I would,
Okay.
okay,
That's a contract. That's,
So,
But I mean, that's, you know, she's carrying sensitive information, so that's why I guess.
if we prefer it, I don't think she has any problems doing it, but
Yeah.
if,
That's like,
no.
Cause that's, I
I'm right
mean,
about now.
I know you do a lot of federal contracts, they require strict stuff like that too.
right. Downfall is, I mean, if we do it on that contract, any other contract through, Jamie, fill us in. She mentioned, or Josh mentioned about background checks on people who we do contracts with. For example, Linda, we're gonna do a contract with Linda.
I still think we have to do background checks. She has confidential information, so I think even if someone that we do contract with as a contractor.
Would you, are you gonna add that in here?
Yeah, we
That,
can.
And I mean, I'm not trying to pinpoint everybody, but everything's getting so sensitive, there's gonna be so many issues out there, so many people, that I think anybody who comes into the county, especially if they're dealing with sensitive information, they should be checked.
Yep, I agree. Yep.
I'm good with that.
are you going backwards? Are you gonna go, like, you know, do
Well, I
every?
think all of us should, I think every employee that's currently employed with the county has to do it.
Yeah, when we initiated background checks, we did the initial background check on all of our current employees, just to be fair to move forward to everybody else.
Yeah.
How about elected officials, or is that just a completely different entity? Because some of the elected officials we deal with.
We get to run that.
But,
Pretty much
but we're elected in, so.
No,
I mean,
that's why I'm
it's-
asking, I
right.
don't know, so
No,
I didn't
elected
know.
officials, I don't think it's necessary because the people have spoken unless you have something that would prohibit you from doing the job legally. I don't think that's necessary. I think it would be all employees. Because an elected official can say, well, yeah, I've got a bad record, but oh well, I'm still gonna be an elected official. It doesn't prohibit that from happening.
And that's fine. I just want to
Because
make
you
sure.
can't fire them.
No,
Correct.
So she goes through background check.
And my guys.
And you have
and the sheriff's department, they are post certified. I'm sure if I did something wrong, the bar would be after me. So really it would be down to probably the treasurer and clerk of court and the auditor. So elected officials, I don't think it's appropriate for it needed to be done.
I'm good with it.
So basically add a contract worker or
Yeah.
anything to this.
So how do I go about starting these background checks? Because it would be my office that would do them, or would it be the individual offices?
Well, so typically, yeah, it typically would be the auditor's office that does it. There are companies that do it. I know Nathan.
Do you want me to go through a company?
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Yes.
That's the only way to do it, is to go through a company.
I can send you over who we use.
Do you want me just to pick one, or do you guys want to pick one, or do you want to use Steps? Do you want to use Nelson County's?
My personal thought, it does cost money to do background checks. It's like $35 a background check per person.
Is there a set price for a contract with them, or just per background check?
It's per person. I mean, it costs more depending on how many states they go through and how many, if it's extensive background check towards the basic background check, but the basic's $35.
Yeah.
The only thing that I noticed in here is that we probably should put in here how far back that we do go. I feel as though we go back 5 years. I don't know if you guys, it doesn't state in here how far back we go for the background check.
Well, I don't know. I understand your argument, but what if we have someone that has been arrested for beating up their spouse 10 times 5 years ago, 6 years ago?
And see, that's why we chose 5 years, because apparently when we were told and we started doing this is that anything prior to 5 years is you're supposed to have been rehabilitated, and if you've been good for 5 years, you're fine. We did have a incident where we had somebody who had a theft charge, but that was 6 years prior to starting with us. And so it didn't even show up on their background check, but we knew the person and knew that was going to be there. But we couldn't use it. We didn't really want to use it, but because she wasn't working in that department with money anyways. But the 5 years, I do feel we should pick a time limit on that. But again, up to you guys.
Is 5 years long enough, Jamie, or not?
It's up to you guys. I don't know. I guess in my opinion, if you have someone that has a theft offense 10 years ago and they're going to go work for the treasurer's office and auditor's office, I don't know if that's appropriate for them to work there. Maybe they haven't been in a position where they've had to handle money for 10 years, and all of a sudden now they have that taxation in front of them.
The situation hasn't presented itself.
Do you want to go 10 years? 5 years is general, but 10 years background
say
check? I think
10.
we need to pick a timeline.
I'd say we 10 just because, again, it's not our information, it's not just employees, but it's the whole county, it's all the taxpayers and everything else that we're dealing with. It's just not us. I mean, maybe I'm being a little too strict about it, but it's like anything, you get taxpayers involved, taxpaying citizens, it's a whole different ballgame, it seems like.
And does this include sworn police officers at all, just because we do our own, or does it include us and you just want us to send ours to you, like here it's done?
Yeah. Well, how far back does your guys' go? Lifetime? Okay.
Yeah. So either not include us because we have to have one, or we can't be cops, or include us and we can just give our copy to you.
Well, I think it just goes, it's just the difference between you and Sam doing it, really. So, you're doing the pre-employment background check. It doesn't, as long as it's done.
Yeah, you think we should have her just so we have it on file, so everybody's in file in the courthouse?
Just put it in their employee
I
file.
suppose that's
Put it in their employee file.
Really the difference is, like I said, is having her do it instead of having Sam do it.
Well, ours would be done. I'll just send her what I have, what I've had.
Okay.
Well, I mean, and they're not gonna have anything bad because they're licensed peace officers, so.
So I just
Perfect, thank you.
Kind of that now, so.
So should we have we need some kind of motion, don't we, Sam? Some type?
Well, yeah, and then I need to know what you would like me to do for the place, you know, the,
Oh,
Okay.
do you wanna talk?
I think you can choose the place of your discretion, your own. I don't think you need us to choose who you go through the company.
So basically add 10 years onto there for time and contract workers
Mm-hmm.
to that list.
and then just start doing them now, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I can do. Here's my scenario. I'm being devil's advocate here and just throwing out the exaggerated versions. But let's say, for instance, you hire somebody to shovel the sidewalks. I mean, and a contract. You pay them $20 a week to shovel sidewalks. You can do background check on them.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'd say if they work for the county.
Or-
They would need access to the building.
Or
to
if
get the
you
shovels.
hire somebody to contract out to mow the lawn, they're gonna mow the lawn.
They would need access, they'd have access to the mower, county property,
Okay,
so.
I'm just throwing out everything. So I'm like being devil's advocate here.
I would
so.
say anyone and everyone that needs to access the building, have a key for the building, any equipment.
Basically,
Should have to have
who
background
received
check.
basically who receives any type of funding from the county.
Yep,
Okay.
yeah.
That way it's just one and done.
Yeah, you're not singling people out
Right.
either.
Yep.
You just
Okay.
say this is our policy. Don't care who you are.
Now we contract KLJ. We don't do them. We contract those architects. We don't do them for us. So.
No, because
Of course,
that's a
devil's
company.
advocate.
That's a company, not a person.
They're
Okay.
contract employee.
Okay, perfect. I'm just being devil's advocate here and throwing out all scenarios and such that we could do.
So, don't have a motion here, guys?
I'll make that motion to what would be the best word, to basically have background checks,
To adopt this
to adopt the background checks with the addition of
10 years.
10 years, all contract employees, or who receives any type of county funds. Would that be the right way to
I
say
think contract employees works.
Contract employee.
any
Yeah.
type of contract employee?
Yep.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a second from Steph. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Same sign? Motion carried.
Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks, Jamie.
Jamie, do you have this on your?
So, next on the agenda is 2018 county audit, or county audit.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yep, so I just got my
From Harold
official,
Rotenda, right?
nope, I just got my official letter from the state.
Oh,
I
you
just
did?
wanted
Okay.
you guys to see the official letter, so.
Okay. So don't do anything with that, do we?
No, you guys already did.
Okay. So-
And Harold's going to send off the
Yep.
2019, 2020.
19, and then he is working on the 23.
Good
Is
deal.
this going to continue sending them as they get approved? Because they only approve 1 year at a time.
Yep.
Thank you.
Okay. Election inspector, that would be you, Sam.
Yep, so by century code, I do need the commission to appoint my election inspector each election cycle. You guys did, at the last meeting, or at the last election, you gave me the authority to appoint them. You guys are good to appoint. I just ask that you put a little thing in there that you do give me authority to appoint if an emergency situation comes up. Like the inspector that you guys appoint gets sick the night before, I don't have to call a special meeting the morning of trying to, I can just go ahead and do it. So the person that I do have for you is Nancy Paintner. She is still willing to do that if you guys so desire. And she did wonderful at the last election, so I recommend her.
So move.
We need a motion on that or not, Sam?
Yep, she did.
Okay.
I'll second that.
Okay, Rod. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Okay. our favorite thing, old courthouse, new courthouse. Anything news on this, guys, or anything?
I think the only thing that should be done in new courthouse and old courthouse is, like I said, you know, we got some of this money. I think we should have all the departments, and even talk to what's his name, the maintenance guy, Brian. See if there's any type of deal where he needs some extra money to keep things okay over there, so it's not as much as a safety hazard.
We may also need to, in order to do anything, if you want to accept any funds, whether to restore it or to whatever you want to do with it, we're going to be forced to have to upgrade our registry.
Yeah.
That was like 12 grand, right?
I think it's going to be a few, yeah.
Yeah, I checked into it and it was, I think it was around 12 grand.
I think the upgrade registry would be a nice thing to put on our little list of COVID funds.
Yeah.
And then that way too, if we need to do anything.
Yeah,
with
we
that
could
building.
basically just go through the list and kind of, you know, decipher what we, as a whole, what we feel is necessary and best for some of this stuff.
I suppose we should probably have a dollar amount, a estimate
Well,
dollar
yeah,
amount with
I mean,
each
like,
of those things.
you know, we need this, you know, like they come to us, they say, like, okay, this repair costs $1,000, but we need it for this XMX reason, you know, put that on their list. And then, like I said, even talk to Brian about even the old courthouse, the new courthouse stuff, anything he feels is deemed necessary to at least get some kind of provisions in place for safety wise, because like I said, if bricks are falling off, we got other issues, do we have some kind of deal where we can put in place to help us out on that?
Do you want them to come with, like, I have an idea for, like, something that was on my mind of what would be nice, do we bring quotes? Or do you want us to just bring an idea and you say,
No.
I think a dollar amount would be
Quote.
nice, because then we can tick off how many things that.
Because we want to know what, okay, so we can start go through the list, start choosing items, and then we'll have a dollar amount, and then off of that dollar amount, we can subtract what we have from those funds.
Yep.
That way we can keep track of the exact number of what we got.
okay.
I'd hate to pick something and say, oh, it's only going to be 10,000 to do the registry, and we find out it's 20,000, you know,
Right.
to update the registry, which of course I don't think it'd be that much, but for example. Yeah. The vice chair.
Oh, well, that's for the next time, because we didn't put an agenda to begin with. We forgot to do that.
Nope, I added it
Oh,
to
did
the
you?
agenda.
Oh, did you do that? Oh, you did? Okay. Yeah, okay, I forgot about that. So we need to, since after John resigned, I was vice chair, so I moved up to chair. So now the vice chair is open. So we need somebody to replace me on that one. So it's up to you guys who want to appoint as vice chair.
So does that count kind of like you were saying before, that the chairman and vice chairman are usually the people who are here the longest?
Usually the case, not always, but usually the case. That just kind of makes sense, but anyway. Your decision, guys.
I say Steph just because of that reason. That's my feelings on that, because she's, you know, I don't have anything against you, Rod, or Maddie. It's just she's been here longer. If that seems like the process to do it.
I'm cool with that.
And then usually we always reorganize in the first year, right, Sam? First meeting or two, right? We reorganize.
Yep.
So, and what I'm thinking of doing maybe is, this is what I used to do with other committees I've been or commissions I've been on. I always try to, maybe a person serves chair or vice chair for a year or two, then they rotate it. You know,
we could do that.
You know, later on, that's something we discuss when he comes up in the first of the year. You know, you know, then rotate it through. You know, then so everybody gets a chance to do that. You follow me? You know, on that end of it. So then they get some different ideas and stuff. But something to discuss later on when we get to that point. But anyway, so Josh made the motion for staff as vice chair. Do I have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Second from Rod. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, that's taken care of. Now my favorite thing, future business. So
the COVID fund ideas.
So I will just put COVID funds on. Anything else?
Can you send an email out to departments on stuff like that? Just saying, hey, we.
Absolutely.
if you have anything you feel is necessary that you need, please send us a list with the amount needed for that.
Or just ideas around the courthouse. If you have ideas around the courthouse or in
Do you want me
within
to
your office,
instead have like a department head meeting so that it's not like,
yes.
you know,
'Cause then we
deputies
can
and
discuss.
Yeah, we could do that.
We can discuss
Maybe
more in
see if the
person.
department heads want to come to the next meeting, and then they can help us with that.
Sorry.
If we can have
I didn't
if we can have
I
a
was
list
just
in front of us
trying-
during that
sorry.
meeting, that would be awesome.
I think we can get together as department heads and come up with ideas, and then depending on what they are, whoever came up with the idea, reach out to get a quote, a dollar amount, bring it together into a spreadsheet, let them know to attend if they want to discuss. Otherwise, yeah.
We're bringing in the sheriff laptop and the
Yes.
copy machine lease.
And some of that stuff being that, instead of leasing that, we can maybe just pay for that and that's with those funds.
The only thing I like about a lease is that when the
copy
lease is
machine.
up, you can upgrade it because the electronics don't last a long time. They're good for like 5 years, and then it's hard. So once they get to be,
No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
But then it's like if anything's wrong with the machine, they come in, they fix it, and
No, that
it's-
makes sense.
and they throw in the toner in with it, and because that toner's expensive. But anyways, that's my only thought about a lease. And I think Wayne was going to bring in legacy funds, wasn't he? Did he say
Yeah. And then the other thing with Wayne too is that we have to figure out where the money that we're spending on this road up there, we're gonna move, we gotta kind of figure that out too, to how we're paying for that.
So, yeah, and then I think we should put an agenda from now on County Road 8, long term.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to put that on an agenda all the time to see what's been done on it,
Just,
you know.
make
and
sure
I
that
want a
it
permanent
updates.
Yeah, let's
agenda
permanent
item?
on there, because I think we have to get this figured out, guys.
And as far as County Road 8 too, we need to discuss, just make sure that there's maintained of gravel on
Correct.
there, blading on there,
Yeah.
needs a water truck to run up there.
That, you discussed that, too.
If we have to hire Gilbersons or whatever,
Somebody.
to come and spraying over.
And I think like we discussed before, I think stepping it down to 35 is gonna save a lot on that wear and tear on that.
And then have our sheriff patrol it.
Patrol, yeah.
And make that stick.
Yeah, that'll work. Anything else, guys, you think of to stick on for next time?
As far as
oh shoot.
yeah, just hopefully Wayne will come back with some stuff too, as far as
Yeah.
equipment wise, and police, as those are,
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
really, to look at that
Yeah.
stuff. Power leases, things like
Yeah.
that, there's,
'Cause Yeah, when I look down there at the county shop, it needs we need some work.
Yeah.
To be honest, the stuff is, we only have down there, we have 3 maintenance, the blades are good, they're a lease thing. And then the payloader's pretty good shape, and that's about it.
is that the legacy funds
Yeah.
visits or COVID both?
Excuse me.
No, well, I think he can use that. No, keep going, Steph, I was thinking something else.
No, I was just thinking that legacy funds that's where 90.
98,000 is that or something.
Okay.
Because he can use that on equipment, I think. Right?
Yep.
Yes.
Equipment.
Yeah.
That's help him out with that kind of stuff. And,
How much is the Bobcat roughly? 50,000?
depending on what size you buy, how big, but but
60?
a new one, I mean, a big one, you're looking at $100,000.
It is that much.
Yeah.
When we purchased Annetta Parkey only just purchased the Kubota that had the blade,
What time is
the
it?
blade,
Right.
the blower, and the broom on that. That was, I want to say 50,000 for that,
Oh,
and that was just for, I think even had the mower deck on it too. But we returned that part. But
and yeah, because
anyways.
it's probably a smaller tractor that you guys bought.
Yep.
I think a Bobcat would be better for us because
absolutely.
one, it could clean out not only us,
True.
it could clean out the county shop area too and everything. They can use it in so many ways. Plus, like you said, with scraping off, brushing off gravel, and then they can use it on if they're out fixing a roll and they need something smaller to do something quick.
Oh yeah.
it's gonna cost more money to buy a track machine, but I would absolutely a track machine because
Yeah.
doing culverts down in the
Yeah.
bottom of those ditches when it's wet, and
True.
they're way more stable.
And it's easier to get something like that out there versus
a big piece of equipment or something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
True.
And then at your next meeting, you will be discussing the budget.
Yes.
And then you will have your public hearing at 6:30.
So we have.
So
that-
your next meeting will be at 4:30, not
Correct.
9:30
Correct.
in the morning.
Okay, and then at 6:30 is the. No. Nice try. No. No.
4:30 in the afternoon, and then our public
October
hearings at
7th?
6. Excuse me?
October 7th?
Yes. It's at 4:30, and then your.
Oh, I have it in here.
Our commissioner meeting's at 4:30, that's what you're saying?
Yep, and then your
Yes.
public hearing is at 6.
6. Yeah, we have in an hour. Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll bring it. So who's gonna order pizza in between? I'm just kidding.
You did last.
I know we did last time. I remember that. I mean, Jamie and Josh went and got pizza.
Me and you did.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, me. Yeah, I went and
Oh,
got.
you said Jamie and Josh.
No,
I'm sorry,
no.
misunderstood.
Anyway. So anyway, any.
Oh, I thought Gilbertson's.
No, we went and got pizza.
Yeah, me and him did. 'Cause
Yeah,
we were.
pizza.
We
Yep.
did a few things. We were just bebopping around town, and you're like,
Yep.
yeah, let's go get a pizza for
We
it.
bring everything up, you know, to kill an hour. Yeah, well.
Can't go to the bar in between. You can't say.
We won't go there.
Oh, I have one quick
Anyway,
question.
go ahead, Maddie.
Okay, so we were talking about adding, like, how the COVID funds is gonna stay on there. Since our COVID funds are used, do we wanna call it ARPA funds? You know, our
You
COVID.
can, yep, correct.
I just started thinking that, like, our 154 was already allocated, those are the COVID, the other two are called ARPA. So I
Well,
just didn't
no,
know if
it's-
we
It's
wanted
like
to-
different ARPA,
Cause
different.
there's two different sets of ARPA, but the COVIDs are spent.
Oh,
You know what I
true.
mean?
Yeah. So
So I
big,
just was thinking name wise, like,
the right heading, so
yeah,
people
just
don't get
people aren't
confused.
confused, yes.
Okay.
Something else.
Well, you can, yeah, because the LATCF funds
Yeah.
were designated to the CPT, so those are gone.
Right.
So all we have left
True.
is the ARPA funds,
So
which
you
is
could
the
just say
SLF.
SLFRP.
Yes.
SLFRP
State
funds.
and local. Yes. Fiscal recovery funds.
Recovery fund, yeah.
So,
ARPA.
ARPA.
I mean, it just, yeah, I just didn't want people to get confused thinking COVID when they're actually our ARPA.
Yep,
They would
these-
have two different spending.
Correct. These came out because of COVID, but they're
Yes.
not
COVID.
not the CARES Act COVID funds
Yes.
that we were
Yeah.
discussing earlier. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah,
Do you mind doing that?
just thinking.
That's Maddie.
Yep, just thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yep. Okay, so my favorite part of the meeting is, I can't do it any longer. Who wants
I'll
to?
make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
All opposed? Same sign, motion carries. So next meetings is on regular session, the commission meeting is October 7th at 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yep.
And then we have, at 6 o'clock, we have the public meeting on the budget.
Correct.
What do we do if for some reason if this drags out?
You just
Pause it?
yep. You
Yeah, okay.
recess that. Move
Your
in.
tax equalization ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stop
Yeah.
and-
Stop and go. Okay, that should do it. Thank you, people.